Hi all. Today we are going to discuss about the absorption of water, electrolytes, vitamins and minerals. I'm Ramsi Lake, 3rd BSc Zoology, Sir Syed College. First we are going to discuss about absorption of water. We all know that water is essential for our body. But how water absorption takes place? Although the whole digestive tract is permeable to water, the major site of water absorption is colon of large intestine. And how water absorption takes place by osmosis, that is the movement of water from higher concentration to lower concentration. Endosmosis and exosmosis facilitate the movement of water across mucosa along the osmotic gradient. Another factor which determines the movement of water or absorption of water is the tonicity of the fluid on each side of mucosal layer. That is, water always moves from hypotonic to hypertonic solution, that is from lower solute concentration to higher solute concentration. Thus, the active absorption of solutes from the intestinal lumen makes the contents of the intestinal mucosa hypertonic. So, the water moves from outside to the intestinal lumen. We have discussed about the water absorption in large intestine, that is by simply osmosis and depends on osmotic gradient and tonicity. And water absorption also takes place in the small intestine. Some amount of water is absorbed in small intestine. Here the water absorption takes place in the concentration gradient provided by sodium. When coupled transport of sodium takes place, water enters through the membrane. Okay. Here we can see that sodium creates a concentration gradient across the small intestine. Then through sodium glucose cotransporter, both sodium and glucose enters into the lumen. At the same time, water also enters to the lumen of small intestine. Okay. Now we can move on to the next topic, that is electrolyte absorption. We know most of the electrons are actively absorbed along the length of small intestine. We can consider sodium. Sodium absorption takes place by coupled transport mechanism with the help of glucose and L-amino acids. Anions passively follow the electrical potential established by sodium. Ionic ion is transported into mucosal cells where it binds to ferritin. Potassium also diffuses across the intestinal mucosa in response to the osmotic gradients. Now then calcium. Calcium absorption is related to the blood levels of ionic calcium and it is regulated by vitamin D and parathyroid hormone. Then chlorine absorption takes place by facilitated diffusion. A carrier membrane or a carrier protein is essential. Then special transport mechanisms operate for the absorption of divalent and trivalent ions. Now let's move on to the next topic, absorption of vitamins. Mostly absorption of vitamins occurs in the anterior part of small intestine. We all know that two types of vitamins are present, water soluble vitamins and fat soluble vitamins. Water soluble vitamins are absorbed by symbol of facilitated diffusion across the brush border epithelial cells. Then fat soluble vitamins. The word itself says that it is soluble in fat. It is first dissolved in micelles, it forms an aggregate and then absorbed together with the emulsified fat with the help of bile salt. Okay. While we are saying about vitamin absorption, there is a special case of vitamin B12. Absorption of vitamin B12 is a special case. That is, a major portion of vitamin B12 is absorbed by a special carrier mediator mechanism, that is Castle's intrinsic factor. It is a glycoprotein secreted by the chief cells of pylori gland. The vitamin B12 binds with the intrinsic factor, the Castle's intrinsic factor, and forms a complex in the stomach. When reaching to the ileum of small intestine, these complex disintegrates and vitamin B12 and intrinsic factor gets separated. This isolated vitamin B12 is soon absorbed into the intestine. Okay. That's all about our topic. Thank you.